This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, but the real star of today's show is the incredible community behind the Simpit, that being the patron team. These are the most staunch, the most loyal, the most avid contributors and sponsors of the show, our patron team. And these guys mean a lot to me. They are my friends, they are my comrades, they are my racing competitors in many cases. And today we are here for round 2 of the patron series, where we are just letting these guys race and letting them truly be the stars of today's show. So right now qualifying is underway, and we are watching David Clymer out there on his qualifying run. And we do have a picture-in-picture. We're going to have the leader of the race in the small image, and we will have the... Where's my mouse? There it is. And then we will have whatever I'm broadcasting on the big screen. Forgive me as I operate 2 different computers at this moment. We can spectate and see, but that one cannot, because it thinks we're part of the race, and we are not. So we do have not always friends, sometimes there's Wreckfest. Very true, Heiko, very true. But it is an honor for me to present these guys and watch them race. That's Chris Bassett get a little sideways in the Skippy. We are here at Okayama, Japan, in the Skip Barber car, as these guys are adjusting to a couple of new factors. Number one, you've got the new damage model, which, unless this turns into Wreckfest, hopefully we won't see a whole lot of the new damage model. And then the other being that the new tire model, which it can be a challenge. It takes 3 to 4 laps to get the heat into these tires, and the car just keeps getting quicker and quicker throughout the event, which is cool as well. Now I need to bring up my iRacing so I can change things around. I'm just trying to make sure I have everything the way I want it to be today. Trying new features, and this is my first stream since yet another computer format. So hopefully all goes well. Things are looking and sounding good. And of course, if you're watching, you are the real star of today's show as well. Always looking for your feedback on how the stream looks, sounds, volume, balance. Right now it's a little quiet. I went and do a separate channel, and I'm letting the guys qualify without hearing my introduction to today's show. And then we'll, hopefully a handful of them will join us for the broadcast during the race itself. We are under qualifying, 4 minutes into a 10-minute session. 2 laps will be the timed laps, and let's go ahead and check in with the leaderboard at this point in time. As of now, the fast lap is David Clymer at the 148.175, and just to give you a perspective of how much you wait for heat in the tires, David ran a 145.6 in practice, so 2.5 seconds slower than that, as it is now switched to David Payne. Let's switch this to David Grunnell, who just posted a 146.963. That's our fastest lap so far. I can't read well enough to find names when I need them sometimes. There's David Grunnell and that British flagged themed Skippy with the blue alloy wheels you can see there. Nice looking paint job there for him. David Clymer is currently in second place. Oh, he is pulled in. Did he have an issue, or are we just having a connection issue? Not currently on track, it looks like. Maybe he got his 2 laps in. Here's Phil Strutton currently in 3rd place. If you remember Phil from last week, it was Phil Wicked Wing. He had the bent wing and managed to do rather well despite that. Got dirt 410 SPS. How is the tire fall off during a long race realistic? That is a great question. I did about 8 laps in practice, and I was still at the point that the car was getting faster each lap. So I honestly can't answer that. I haven't done any long runs. These guys are going to be running 18 laps in the main. So we'll have to look at those times throughout the event and see if we do have any fall off at some point. And I see a few of our drivers are joining the channel. Just want to welcome Doug Hawley and Tobias Sass. How you guys doing?
My qualifying was bad, real bad.
Doug Hawley, you in qualifying only ran a 156. It sounds like you went backwards at some point, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I think I did.
Hey, Dave Blair. Too bad you're at work. Thank you for coming by and saying hello, though. We miss ya. And I see Brandon Waters just came into the booth after that. 153. Brandon not doing too strong in qualifying. What happened out there to you, Brandon?
I found the cold tires a bit challenging on both of my laps. Plus, I was testing the safer barriers, and they worked successfully.
It's a challenge. 2 laps is not enough to get any heat. So it's if you're gonna push, again, look at our lap times. David Grunnell right now with the best lap of a 46.0, which is 1.3 seconds slower than he ran in practice. Just to give you an idea. Izzy, you are appreciated in so many ways. So many ways.
Hi, Izzy.
Izzy.
See, everybody appreciates ya. So qualifying, it looks like everybody's pretty much posted laps. I see Sean Cole, that guy hasn't posted a lap. And Leif Helberg, who didn't post in practice, might be just figuring he'll start at the back. Not sure the plan there for Leif, but we do have a pretty good grid of 21 cars for today's race. That's great. That's excluding that Sean Cole guy. He was DQ'd for a noise violation, exceeded the 90 decibel limit here in Japan. And there will be no racing for the Sean Cole Skip Barber team. So let's see, we are 8 minutes. You guys missed my intro because you were qualifying, but just so you know, the whole point of this race, and of course you guys are the star of the show, is I was telling people before you came in here, the patron team has been a huge part of the Simpit and its growth and its community and some of the whole vibe that we have with the Simpit, and it's so appreciated, and it's allowed computer and camera and lighting upgrades, and it's allowed the show to get better. You guys are always a source of comedy, rivalry, information, and sometimes just coming up with great ideas for the show. So this really is an appreciation of everything behind the scenes that the patron team does to make the Simpit that much better. Oh, Izzy, but you missed it. I've stepped up. I now drive a Lotus. I don't even like saying Lotus because it implies such the wrong thing. Oh, excuse me, I drive a Lotus. I drive a Chotus now. Volvo. Volvo's in my past. I passed the Volvo countless times in my last race. In our patron Discord chat, I did put up a video of my day 2 run in the Chotus, which is pretty fun to watch, I think. I enjoyed watching it. But that's private, just for the patron group. It's not public.
All right. I feel so much better being behind, Phil.
It's been very
Pretty
secret.
sure Lotus has copyright laws that says you're in trouble. You violated their Lotus.
You cannot do that to a Lotus.
Damn, Phil, nice lap.
Well, from back here, all I can do is go forward, Sean.
That's true. That's true. We'll have to score
Me and you, Doug.
the biggest advance of the day. Now, you are gridded up ahead of Captain Jack. So if there's anybody primed for picking up the most spots, it would be Jack Kirk. And a Lotus Elite. Elite. Not Elise. Elite. And it looks like we are now getting ready to grid up. Let's see if we can get a car on the grid. What's going on here? What's going on? There we go. As looks like we are watching David Payne gridding up in the 4 spot. And we are moments away from the beginning of what is going to be a pretty cool, exciting race. Cold tires, 2 to 3, 4 laps even, depending on your setup. And we'll have to see how these guys handle that, because we have a lot of cars, 21 cars on the grid, all heading into turn 1 on cold tires with, I must point out, the new damage model. Rachel Williams, give you a fist bump there. Yes, all patron got an invite. If you're a patron crew, then you got an email. If you're an active crew member, this is available to everybody. But it is private and exclusive only to our patron group. And at the end of the race, I will be giving away a Simpit t-shirt to one of the patron members. More than just the 21 here. It's open to everybody. The Elite has grown on me. I thought it was butt ugly when I first met the car, and then it really grew on me. I mean, it's like a Super Gremlin or a Super Pinto, and we have a Chevy 350 in it, which means it sounds really cool as well. But it's not about the Lotus Elite today. We'll have more on that later, coming to you soon at the Simpit. Today, it's about the Simpit patron team, and we are getting ready to go green in minute 40. Since that Sean Cole guy isn't gridded up, I guess we're going to have to wait the full 2 minutes before we get this going.
I forget how the lights work in iRacing for standing start.
When they go out.
As soon as they turn red, you go.
When the green go
When they
out.
go
When you
out.
go to the pit, you'll see the light.
All right, there's 2 minutes, so we should be getting ready. I won't get a notification as we wait. I hear the revs, green flag.
Oh, mistakes
And
were
I
made.
see
I forgot
cars
to change my
swerving,
fuel.
so some guy's getting a good jump. David Payne gets a good jump, goes to the inside in that purple and black 73. Skippy, little 3 wide, they work it out, and it looks like we're clean up front, at least as we go through turn 1. And let's check up to the leader.
Can you
See
clear
who's
black
up
flag?
in the lead. Let's make sure our other computer is watching the leader. Oh, I see a spin back there. So let's see here. We are on David Grunnell over here. Forgive me, everybody, but certain things have to be done. Looks like
It's still in line.
comes out. There we go.
And there's 2 more.
Five
in that
cars
corner.
went. 5 cars went in the dirt.
Amir and Luca.
We're gonna have to go back and find some of this replay here.
So do you guys realize cold tires, people got to brake early?
Sean, can you clear a black flag?
Yes. Do you really have one?
Yeah, my car will.
Oh, looks like Phil
He tried to
Sprott
start
went
early.
around.
I watched
And
it.
then after that, you had a
Yeah.
whole bunch of a swarm of cars. We watch Amir Assad. Oh, and a little clipping from mine. Oh, and Amir gets spun around, and
Is my car missing a wing?
I will get back to you on that.
Yes.
Phil. Doug, you have a black flag? All right, excuse me, everybody. I gotta do some race control.
Whoops, go around, climber.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, hold for 10 seconds.
Sorry, Doug. Okay, let's try to get back into the action, see what's going on track. And let's see here. Phil Scrutton is on pit lane. I see a few damaged cars. You can see a wrinkle on that front wheel there, and Joe Antonio's car is kind of a mess. Amir Assad's car looks like it's finished for the day. And Chris Bassett, there's our leaders, 1, 2, 3. David Grunnell in front. Just behind him, you've got Mark Michkowski, birthday boy, and Chris Bassett making a move to the inside. Gets the line, gets the position, and Mark's going to just slot behind him now in 3rd place. That's David Clymer in 4th place, right behind them in his always popular gray and red paint scheme that he's made famous. David Payne running in 5th position right behind. So our top 5 are pretty close together, and only looking a little ways back to George Sandman, who could be a factor before this one's over. 18 laps our race is. We are currently on lap 2. George Sandman running in 6th place. Brandon Waters in the Pennzoil Rick Mears inspired paint scheme running in 7th. Devin Booth running in 8th.
Enough fuel, damn it.
James Dowling, that's on Edge's Honeybee paint job, in 9th. And Tobias Sass running in 10th. And Jeff Gordon, DuPont Rainbow Warrior paint scheme. And it looks like someone making a move for pit lane in 11th. That's going to let Troy Tyner pull up into the 11th spot. Oh, and a little trouble there. Who was that? That was Tyson Landis and Tim Chitwood having a little contact as Luca Bassini gets by in the Ferrari. Ferrari Skip Barber. Impressive looking paint job there. So let's go back up front with David Grunnell. Ran a 147.365 last time by. And he is now starting to get a little bit of a gap over second place Chris Bassett, who now has a fight underway again. You can see how strong the draft is here in the Skippy on these long straightaways. Oh, let's go the other way and look at the battles. Chris Bassett going outside. Mark, birthday boy, Michkowski coming to the inside, gets the position. They're still side by side going into the double left-hander. Almost contact. Mark backs out wisely and gives way. Phil, you have a black flag?
Yep. It's making me serve it anyways.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Being a race admin and a broadcaster, simultaneous of that battle.
Wow, my car refused to fuel up.
What's that, Phil?
Oh, my car just refused to fuel up on me.
Oh. There are 3 fast repairs. Hit reverse and go back in. So this battle for second place right now is really good. Chris Bassett followed by Mark Michkowski, followed by David Clymer now into the action. As those two battled away, what we've seen is David Grunwald be able to get a little bit of a gap and get away. In fact, it looks like he's now dealing with some of the cars who've gone to pit lane and come back up. So we have lap cars between this group fighting for second place and David Grunwald, who we have in, wait, no, why is this not on David Grunwald? Oh, Phil goes around.
Keep it tight, Phil.
I am.
Why is it not focusing on the leader?
I can stay tight there. You guys could, so seemed logical.
There we go. I don't know why it wouldn't focus on the leader. There we go. David Grunwald, you can see him up front. And you'll be able to see the cars between, or the gap. Right now, it looks like that gap is about 4 seconds, if I'm doing my math correctly. But great battle right now. And you can see they're kind of working together a little bit, but they will have to battle. But they are still losing ground to our leader, and that's George Sandman in 5th. Trying to pursue these 3 guys and get into what would become a 4-man battle for second place. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. Lap 4 of 18. And one of the things we are going to keep our eye on and try to figure out is fall off. Is there much fall off on the tires as we ride with Mark Michkowski coming to the line 47.9 last time? We'll use his car as a reference, see how his pace is keeping up. And coming to the line this time by, even in traffic, a 46.5. So you can see here, 5 laps into the race, people are getting their tires to full temperature, getting all the grip out of the Skippy, and now even starting to burn off fuel and letting the car even get quicker and quicker. And David Clymer losing a little bit of ground, but with the draft here at Okayama, that won't be a big deal. He's actually sitting in a really good spot. Should anything go on between the 2 cars in front of him.
Excuse me, David.
One thing I will say that we're seeing in iRacing right now is some very weird reflections. A few people have complained about that. Not 100% sure. We think it's the Skippy, not Okayama. But I am seeing some cars get a weird pastel color and like overexposed. And right now looking at this, I see pretty good lighting. But I think when they turn, we're going to get a little polarization off of the cars, which is an interesting feature. There it is. The interesting kind of overcoat on these paint jobs, perhaps. I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and check back in with our grid. David Grunwald leading the race by 4.5 seconds over Chris Bassett running in 2nd. Our birthday boy Michkowski in 3rd place running in that green and black. David Clymer right there in 4th. No changes there. George Sandman about 5 seconds back of them. And Brandon Waters has pulled up to George Sandman and is now into contention in that 6th position. David Payne losing a little bit of ground, but holding 7th. James Dowling in 8th. Devin Booth might have just given up 9th position to Tobias Sass. Let's go back and get a replay of what happened there. Looked like we just missed the pass, and it is as it occurred. And yeah, you can see Devin's actually in a little bit of traffic. And Tobias just goes and takes that inside line, outbrakes him a little bit, takes position, and great pass using, was that a a lapped car position call. That was Amir Assad who did go to pit lane to get a massive repair. So that's a lap down car, I do believe, being a factor. And now we have a really good battle going on between Devin and Tobias, and that fight for 9th is not over just yet.
Tyson, your car popped a wheelie, man.
Oh, in fact, there it is. There's Devin Booth looking to the inside using that draft. Can he get the braking done? Tobias gives him enough room on the inside, but holds him down low. Use up all the corners side by side. They're going to go into turn 2 with Tobias getting the advantage on entry and picking up position. But will Devin be able to make a move going into the heavy braking zone before we head up the corner? And again, this is a battle for now. It's up to 8th position, so someone else must have trouble. Tobias does a nice defending driving line on that one. But here we go. Here comes the straightaway. Here come the aerodynamic advantages of being in the draft. And Devin Booth once again looking probably to make a move to the inside. Tobias staying all the way to the left as of now. Carrying some speed. Devin, sure enough, right at the cake. Slingshots to the inside. Has the inside line. Tobias gets a little further. Now the inside line works, and Devin's got a clear position. But it might not be over. Amir still in the mix of things too, just kind of watching this, saying, hey, I'm a lap down, might as well watch this incredible battle for 8th position going on.
Sean, I'd like to point out that I passed George Sandman.
What's that?
I just want to let you know. I passed George Sandman. I just want that to go on record.
I cannot hear you. Speak again, let me turn you
And
up.
it says he wants it on record. He passed George Sandman.
Thank you, Doug.
Try that. Maybe we can hear that.
Can you
Is
hear me
that
now?
Brandon being very quiet?
I love it when the tires get hot.
Oh, sorry.
Gosh, I hope everything's working here still. How do you turn the headlights on and skip Barber? It's just foggy. Our race time is great, but once again, it is a little dark as the fog. That's probably what's causing the polarization is the fog, actually. All right, so let's go through the grid and see what's going on. Going backward, Luca Bassini has moved up into 10th position. Leif Hellberg all the way from the back, running in 11th. Tyson Landis in 12th. Troy Tyner in 13th. James Dowling, something must have gone wrong there. He's now back in 14th position. Lonnie Jameson running in 15th. And the pace car is sitting on pit lane. Doug Hawley running in 19th. Joe Antonio 18th. Looks like that just a little change of position there. And our leader is, in fact, still David Grunnell. And the lead has increased by quite a margin, actually. 7.5 seconds back to second place, who is now Mark Michkowski. What happened there? Let's go back in time. Find out how exactly Mark moved up into second. See, oh, this is a while ago. We missed some action as we were watching that fight for 9th place. Some bobbing and weaving, and oh yeah, it happened quite a while ago. Yeah, we might be missing new action. We see him using the slingshot on that long backstretch straightaway. Same move we saw with Devin, coming around right at the cake. Climber looking, where do I go? Where do I go? I'm going to go in the middle. Oh no, there's not enough room for me. Too wide into that left-hander. Mark does a good job of pinning him down, pinning Chris down into the corner and using a lot of speed off the corner. And then finally makes the pass secure by that next. And David Climber now looking to the inside. That can't help as Chris tries to battle the inside, but not enough speed. And that is win. And how on lap 6, Mark Michkowski moved up into second position. And here we are battling more. Bassett looking to the outside. They were equal going into that heavy right-hander. And Michkowski is able to hold the advantage and maintain second position. So, oh, and now Climber makes the move on Bassett. So all of this frenzy finally pays off. The patience pays off as it looks like Chris Bassett got just a little bit of his momentum held up as he was fighting Mark and had to check up on that line, and that allowed, whoops, let's get it on the right car, allowed David Climber to go to the outside, to the inside, I'm sorry, and carry a little momentum going into that little mini backstretch and then defending from the inside on that slow and low left-hander. So Chris Bassett now back to 4th position. That at least was then. This is now. Yep, everything's the same. Mark got a little bit of a gap now over Clymer. Clymer's got a mirror full of Chris Bassett in 4th. He wants back on that top 3 podium position. Yes, Rachel, we've really had a lot of fun watching the new damage model. Some really cool features. Something, I mean, we were kind of joking. The Skippy, you know, you're holding that throttle all the way to the floor and things so slow. And some would say not even fun to drive unless you're in a crowd like we are here today. But it demonstrates the future. Some of the aspects of the new damage model, I'm not going to call it perfect yet, but there are aspects that make the car feel so real. And you combine that with the damage model, you multiply that across the iRacing lineup of cars and tracks, and I'm really excited about the future is what I'm getting at. And I see a little bit of Clymer must have touched somebody because his nose cone is rattling away. Chris Bassett's car looks clean as can be. Lap 9, we're nearing the halfway point in this race. And oh, Brandon Waters got by George Sandman and is now just on the charge in 5th place. Look at the distance that Brandon Waters has made up on that battle for 2nd place. David Grunnell now completing lap 9. You see it in the little screen. You've been watching him all along. David Grunnell ran a 45.5 last time by. And we'll see how he is progressing to get an idea on tire wear. In an 18-lap race, we might see a little lap 10 now. 1:45.993, so a touch slower, but not enough to point a finger and say anything's gone wrong just yet. And Mark Michkowski still in 2nd, 45.639 for Mark that last time by. David Clymer with a 45.3 on lap 9. Chris Bassett with a 45.6 on lap 9. And 45.5 for Brandon Waters. Brandon Hot Pursuit Waters in 5th place. George Sandman kind of hanging on to that gap that he had built up in 6th. David Payne running in 7th. And Devin Booth in a battle with Phil Scruton, who's actually a lap down in 19th place. But Phil likes a race no matter where he is position-wise. There he is going in right behind Devin Booth. Going up the hill, leading into the back stretch. Fresh car, fresh tires, big arrow. Who knows what might happen here. Devin Booth currently running in 8th. Phil looking to the inside. Tobias in 9th, right there behind Devin Booth. So still a battle between those two for the 8th position. Amir in 20th, and 10th place is Leif Hellberg, just a little ways back. And then Luca Bassini and James Dowling, but I believe it is Tyson Landis who just picked up a spot there, getting ahead of Luca Bassini for 11. Luca now in 12th place. He'll now have his sights on Leif Hellberg. Let's go back to that battle up front because we've had just non-stop action. A little bit, this is about the biggest gap we've seen. So Mark Michkowski showing his strength, able to go fast enough to avoid the draft becoming a factor. David Clymer doing everything he can just to stay with him, it looks like. And now Chris Bassett figuring out what am I going to do to get back to where I was. Running in 2nd, now running in 4th place. Lap 11 of 18.
Rear of the car keeps getting faster.
And now might be a great time to go in car with David Clymer and see what it's like to be dogged from behind and trying to figure out how to get ahead. In pursuit of Mark. Birthday boy Michkowski. Brett Favre. Oh, he got a good run into that corner. Lots of draft here, lots of room to work with it. Mark got a good run up the hill, but David got a better line. Look at Mark makes him go wide. We've not seen this yet today. David Clymer going to the outside. We can't even see him on a single screen. You wouldn't know. And Mark holds that inside. Holds position. Clymer's going to have to look for another opportunity. It didn't happen that time. And then the big question would be, what's Chris Bassett doing as he watches this go on? Not really in striking distance. Staying at a safe distance is what he is doing. And look at that. You see that yellow car? You see that yellow car creeping into the picture? Brandon AWOL Waters. AWOL. Brandon's been away from sim racing for quite a while. And in his debut back, he is in rare form, or great form. 45.5 last time by in hot pursuit of that battle for second place. If he can pull into fourth, or he's in fifth, if he can pull up to the gearbox of Chris Bassett, it would effectively put him in pursuit of second place. And you can see the swarm just ahead of him. That's only going to help Brandon in pursuit of those guys as they race their asses off for second place. Chris Bassett running in fourth. Clymer looking to the outside, but every time you look for yourself, you got to watch out from behind when you're running in third place the way this one is playing out. Michkowski leading the way, taking a great racing line. Clymer looking to the outside, and now Bassett comes to the inside, under braking, almost 3 wide into the uphill right-hander. Bassett gets inside of Clymer. Clymer carries a little more speed, but Bassett's running the shorter line, and now it's Michkowski in the way. 3 wide down the backstretch, lap 12 of 18 at Okayama in the Skippy. I do not know how this is going to play out. They are 3 wide into braking. Michkowski checks up first, looks wide behind Clymer, lets Clymer go through. David Clymer now in second place. Chris Bassett in third, and Michkowski battles back to the inside. Insanity. Tell me the Skippy isn't the greatest open-wheeled racing car in the service. It sure is. Between the damage model, between the tire model, and between this great racing. And look at that yellow car, Brandon Waters now can smell the rubber coming off the tires ahead of him as these guys put it sideways, fighting so hard. Brandon concentrating, running a clean line, and this has allowed David Clymer to get a gap. Look at that. That is absolutely the largest gap we've seen from those 3 since this all began at the beginning of the race. David Clymer coming to the line, 45.5 last time by for him. And this time by, lap 12, we're just looking for fall-off of any kind. That damage obviously is not hurting him any. 46.0, not sure if that was just the conditions. We saw some incredible racing, people being forced to the wide. Oh, speaking of wide, Clymer goes very scary wide there into the curbing, and that could be a dangerous moment, but he is A-OK and continuing on. David Grunwald, of course, leading the way. He's so far out running 44.8s at this point that we are only watching him on that mini screen up over there. But lap 13, he has got a pretty considerable 10-second lead at this point over second place, David Clymer. Chris Bassett, and look at this, Brandon Waters now in the fight for what is now third place, because Clymer has a big enough of a gap. And I even see George Sandman catch. All this racing is just changing what's going to be an incredible finish. As guys, Michkowski goes to the inside, picks up position over Chris Bassett. Waters needs to hang back, still sitting in that 5th spot, but right there in the mix of things. And the one car that has the most damage, not much, just that little nose cone shaking around on the front, is David Clymer. Not really making any more of a gap, and it will come down to how hard these guys race as to whether he gets away or not. Let's go ahead and check through the grid because we don't want to miss anything else going on. Brandon Waters currently in 5th, George Sandman in 6th, David Payne in 7th, Phil Scruton in 19th, but did pick up that position. Tobias moved up another spot into 8th, Leif Helberg in 9th, Rseat's back in 20th. Luca Bassini is in, oh, sorry about that, I'm missing some things here. Luca Bassini in 10th, Tyson Landis in 11th, James Dowling in 12th, Troy Tyner in 13th, 14th is Devin Booth. So Devin still trying to make back some ground from some of the earlier shenanigans that were going on. And let's go back to David Grunnell. Oh, wait, no, that's got to be a weird visual. Yeah, sorry to scare anybody there, but my view showed David Grunnell's right rear tire literally falling off the car. That is not the case. He is running strong with 45.624 last time, hardly an indication of damage of any kind. Tim Chitwood running in 18th spot, and David Clymer running in 2nd. Still trying to maintain that gap. Michkowski in 3rd as we watch Bassett this time at the kink. Looking to the inside, not enough speed though, and he checks up and maintains that 4th spot, excuse me. Brandon Waters in that yellow car in 5th. Michkowski doing everything he can do to stay on the podium. Birthday cake tastes even better from the podium. I can guarantee you that. That is for sure. That is an absolute proven fact. So, 4th place, cake's still good, but not as good as when you're out on the podium. And you know what's funny is cake and champagne, some argue that point, as the battle for 3rd has now become a battle. Instead of 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, it is now kind of shaken up to be a battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th spot. David Clymer getting some much needed breathing room, allowing him to concentrate on the driving line. And no, Tom Jones in the house. No, Buccio is not in the race today. Not sure why not. I know one of the things for Buccio and a lot of people in certain regions, a few things. Number 1, football week number 2. That's always a factor for certain people. Number 2 is some people who live in places that are known for ice and snow and terrible winters. This time of year, the last thing they're going to do is be caught inside until it turns frigid. So I know that's been Buccio's plan for the tail end of the summer. That could be the case. As Max comes in to check in on the action. Hey, buddy. What's up? We're on lap 15. I got so distracted by the entertainment. Chitwood kind of not holding up David Clymer, but he had to deal with that lap car. Tim Chitwood, as Bassett looks to the outside in the corner that has provided a lot of the action today. That'll give him the inside this time, and they go 2 wide through the left-hander. Chitwood now, Chitwood pulling a little pick and roll for Chris Bassett. I'm sure he'll pay back, but Mark Michkowski says, I'll have none of that. Carries some great outside line speed and brings Brandon Waters with him. Brandon checks up. That sends these guys into a 2-man battle once again, and Michkowski somehow slingshots that. That was a little shake and bake for sure. Chris Bassett can smell the chicken cooking, and he is now Mark. I don't know how he went from 3rd to almost 5th to 3rd in a blink of an eye. Chris Bassett back and forth, and Brandon Waters, who almost had a shot at 3rd place as well, back in 5th, and George the Shark Sandman in 6th place, getting closer and closer to these guys. Lap 16, so 16, 17, 18, that's under 3 laps to go. Just had to double check my math, and yes, our little camera is still following the leader. In fact, at this point, Runnell is on the back stretch of lap 16, so about 2.5 laps to go. But the battle for 2nd is not over. Well, the battle for 2nd is over. David Clymer, let's check in with him real quick. You can see him there in the gray and red car up on the other side as they draft Luca Bassini. All 3 of them trying to get a draft. Luca pulls over a little bit, lets the battle go by on the outside. But Mark definitely used his draft to keep him ahead in that front stretch. Running in 3rd place. Chris Bassett running in 4th. Brandon Waters running in 5th. Luca Bassini in 17th. I'm sorry, I think I said 10th. George Sandman trying to reel him in, running in 6th place. Tim Chitwood there running in 18th as we go through our grid. David Payne in 7th. Leif Helberg in 9th. Actually, I believe he made a pass for 8th. Yes, Tobias is now in 9th, right behind him. So we have a good battle for the 8 and 9 spot, with Phil Scrutton just kind of getting a good view there, a lap down after that incident earlier. Amir Assad in 20th. Tyson Landis in 10th. James Dowling in 11th. Devin Booth in 12th. Troy Tyner in 13th. Lonnie Jameson in 14th. Doug Hawley 15th. Joa Antonio in 16th. And back to our leader, David Grunnell, on lap 17. So this one and one more time by for David Grunnell as he leads the way. It was Doug Hawley who last week won our In the Dark spooky Sunday race, winning the In the Dark race.
Right out here, I can't see.
And but unfortunately, with the lights on, Doug not having quite the same kind of day. David Grunnell, who most odds makers were putting their money on David Grunnell for today, but we didn't expect this huge, incredible battle. While David Clymer now in 2nd. The gap is narrowed, actually. Mark Michkowski is starting to reel him in just a little bit. Chris Bassett right behind Brandon Waters. And they got to be playing a little bit smart, but at the same time, you want those positions. But right now, they're doing everything they can to not only maybe reel in David Clymer, but stay ahead of George Sandman. Last thing you need is another car into this battle for what is going to be a last lap battle for position. It looks like David Clymer might be just a little too far ahead to be a factor unless any mistakes are made. Same thing with George Sandman. He's depending on these guys getting sideways and next to each other in order to have any shot at pulling up in that battle for 3, 4, and 5th spot. This is the battle for our final podium position as they come to the line for the final lap. Mark Michkowski, Chris Bassett, Brandon Waters. Oh, Bassett goes wide in the dirt but holds on and didn't look like he lost any speed. David Clymer's gap looks just strong enough to be able to hold on, and you got to count your moments for Chris Bassett to get up onto that podium. Brandon Waters, what do you do? Do you go for one position? Do you go for two? Do you concede that it's Chris's battle? So many decisions to be made in less than a lap to make them. Clymer going a little bit wide, probably a little bit more nervous than he wants to be when he's in fine position on the final lap. As we watch David Grunel in that top screen over there, cresting the hill on the backstretch. That's another car that's not David Clymer yet. He's got all the time in the world. He's probably talking to his crew at this point, celebrating the victory already. Clymer's gap getting a little bit smaller, but I don't think it's going to be enough. This draft is the very important moment that they pick up any time. Bassett now looking maybe for the last time, not too many opportunities. Michkowski holding enough speed and clearing him into that slow right-handed. Brandon Waters is checked back just a little bit, and it looks like it's now going to be down to a battle between Mark Michkowski and Chris Bassett for 3rd place. And I want to stay with this battle, but our leader, while we have him up there, just a couple corners to go for David Grunels. He's going to win race number 2 in the Simpit Patron Appreciation Race. There he is around the last corner, and coming to the line, David Grunel winning the race. David Clymer will finish in 2nd. Mark Michkowski is really close, actually. He is as close. Nope, he's not going to be able to make a run. Bassett trying to use as much track, but they're going to finish in that position, with it being Mark Michkowski, birthday boy. Happy birthday to you, Mark Michkowski, finishing in 3rd. Chris Bassett in 4th. Brandon Waters in 5th. Looks like George Sandman will finish in 6th place.
Good race, Chris and Mark.
David Payne coming to the line in 6th. Leif Hellberg, almost a late charge for that 7th position. Leif Hellberg in 8th. Tobias Sass finishing in 9th. Tyson Landis coming to the line there in 10th, followed by James Dowling. And Devin Booth picking up another. James Dowling in 11th. Devin Booth finishing in a 12th spot. Troy Tyner coming around for the last time.
Devin, crash
13th,
right.
followed by Lonnie Jameson, Doug Hawley, Joe Antonio, Luca Bassini, Tim Chitwood. Where's Tim Chitwood? Tim's gone. Amir's gone.
Breakfast.
There's Phil. Phil's showing us off. Let's go ahead and use Phil here. Not the first time anyone said that before, but here we're gonna get a good demonstration of the damage model from Phil right here as he comes to the line, finishing in a rough 20th position. Oh, I see a few cars testing. Oh yes, testing the damage model aplenty. Parts are flying everywhere.
Good race, guys.
Little dog pile there. So once again, it was David Grunel winning the race. David Clymer in 2nd, and Mark Michkowski in 3rd, Chris Bassett in 4th, Brandon Waters, George Salmon, David Payne, Leif Hellberg, Tobias Sass, and Tyson Landis rounding on our top 10. So, one more thing that we are here to do today, and that be give away a Simpit t-shirt to a lucky patron member. They do not need to be here. They don't need to be present to win. So beyond the 21 people here in the race, we'll go ahead and pick names. So what I've done conveniently is let's bring up our left display. Actually, let's get this queued up properly. And I have we have 87 current members of the patron team. So I went to random.org, told it a minimum number of 1. Oh, wait. I gotta show you. I can't do this off air. I gotta prove that I'm doing this legit. True random generator. 1 is the high number, 87 being the low. We will generate a number. 44. Go to my spreadsheet, and 1 is not a number, so that's actually 45 on the list. Okay? And that would be Ken Scrivener. Ken Scrivener. So I will contact Ken. I know he's not in the race here today, and he will get a t-shirt complimentary of the Simpit as a big thank you for being part of the patron team. So, like I said, the whole point of today's show was to show appreciation to these guys. Not just everybody here at the race, but the whole pit crew all across the board, because, again, these guys just make me be a better version of me when it comes to the Simpit, and always coming up with great ideas, always helping me. When you think about the show gaining quality, it's in direct part to those guys and all the help they give me behind the scenes. So it's just been a pleasure to broadcast this race for those guys. And congratulations once again, David Grunnell, on the big win. You were a marked man, but nobody had anything for you today. We saw some incredible racing by Mark, Chris, Devin, David. A lot of great racing going on out there. So really fun from my perspective. Hard to even keep up with all the great racing that was going on. So that's always fun from the broadcast booth when you're confusing yourself just trying to stay with all the action instead of just another race where people get separated. We had great racing, and I think that's a tribute, again, to the Skip Barber and the new damage model, new tire model, and just mixing it up, keeping it fresh for people. So that is going to do it for today's show. If you're interested in the Simpit patron team, just go to Patreon, look up The Simpit at Patreon. We have a link here in the description of the show, and you can be part of the team for future events and all the things. We play Wreckfest. We do all sorts of crazy racing and have fun and chit-chat and have a good time. So you can be part of that crew as well. But that's going to do it for this one. Get out there, do some racing. Congratulations, all you guys. Say goodbye. Take a bow, everyone.
Goodbye, YouTube.
Bye.
Bye, YouTube.
Austin.
Go Dallas Cowboys.
So
right.
this is
Dallas
the
Cowboys.
Simpit.
Who?
I'm Sean
Go
Cole,
Cowboys.
and we will see you on the track.